Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to the virtual World Center of Racing Daytona International Speedway, the venue of tonight's running of PGR eSports Intimidator Superspeedway Series, the premier weekly money racing series, coming to you live here on PGR eSports. You're high atop now the 2.5-mile oval under the lights tonight back in the Xfinity Series cars at Daytona, one of the most fabled facilities in all of racing, the best of the best in racing, whether that's IMSA, whether that's NASCAR, whether that's other series, have won here, are immortalized here, and now we add one more to the ranks tonight at Daytona. It's 55 laps on the program this evening, and they are coming up here in just under 60 seconds. My name is Dawson Wise, and I'll be bringing you through all the action. Normally, Austin is here with you on Thursday nights. He will be back next week, is the hope as of now, with me for Tuesday Night Thunder. And if you were with me on Tuesday, we had a great race, and that is going to really make things interesting tonight. A big field and a stacked field. Many of the best of weekly money racing are here tonight and in the field, and I'm looking through the names now. This is a can't-miss event. I mean, tons and tons and tons of star power, of talent, of racecraft, all make up a 50-car field. You heard that right, 50 on the racetrack tonight. Now, I will preface really quickly, as much as Austin has dealt with technical issues, I've been dealing with some myself on the iRacing side of things. My setup itself is perfectly powerful enough to carry all the cars, but iRacing is stubborn, and it does not want me to do that. So if somebody's car is not loading, if the scoring tower on your left side of your screen is not always correct and not always accurate, I will do my best to, roll with the punches, and give you the most up-to-date results I can. But the way it is right now, I'm working on a fix, and we're trying to get it to where I can see all 50 cars. Until then, though, it's time to get down to business. It's Thursday. It's one of the biggest nights of the week, and it's time for PGR Racing from Daytona. On the pole tonight, with a time of 50.664 seconds, it's the defending Podium 500 champion, the number 82 of Kyler Wynn. To his outside, it'll be the 03, the boss man, the captain for McCullough Motorsports, Kenny McCullough Jr. Row 2, the 44, the all-white Ford Mustang is in the field tonight. Dylan Jones will start from third. To his outside, the man you're looking at right now, the black, purple, and almost maroon Ford Mustang Dark Horse. It's the Nightmare eSports driver, Alex Hill, in the 77. Row 3, it'll be the driver of the number 21 Chevrolet. It'll be John Ellis Jr. And to his outside, starting in 6th, this is the defending ERA Omega Cup Spring Bowl champion. It's Cody Nagels into the 6 machine. Row 4, it'll be another man from McCullough Motorsports, John Mullahan, in the number 11 machine. He'll be in the number 2 on the side of his car tonight, I believe. He'll start from 7th. To his outside will be the number 2 in your timing and scoring, and on the side of the race car, the first entry for the Jack Shack. It's Devin Ray in the 2 machine. Row 5 and wrapping up the top 10. It's Andrew Navarro in the 46. I believe he'll be in the 44 on the side of the race car. And the 34 to his outside, that's series owner Michael Triscaro. He'll roll from 10th. Row 6, it'll be Damon Gilbert in the number 9 machine. A newer driver to PGR. He makes his debut tonight. To his outside, a man who needs no introduction to PGR. That is Garrett Maines of the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. Row 7, George Bark, I believe, also makes his return to PGR tonight. He'll start from 13th in the 54. Christopher Carter to his outside in 14th in the 49. Row 8, Landon Velicky for One Stop Motorsports almost stole away a win in Tuesday Night Thunder back a couple of nights ago. He'll start 15th. And Ethan Eckert in the 41. He'll be in the 12, I believe, on the side of the car. He'll start from 16th. Row 9, it's the champion of the SummerSlam 499 a couple weekends ago, Malik Ray in the 7. He'll start from the inside of row 9. It is outside the NBG entry, the 19, but the 60 on the car of Jeff Merck. Rounding out the top 20, Kevin Freeze, a man who loves this car. He'll be coming to the front early. He'll start from 19th. It'll be David Sheets that will start from 20th for McCullough Motorsports. Row 11, the Nightmare eSports driver, Stephen Miles, will start 21st with Chris Walker back in 22nd. Row 12, David Flanagan in the 26 will start alongside the Jack Shack's Trevor Osbernoth in the 89. Row 13, Nash Brambilla for Team PGR alongside Alec Martinez, our winner from last week in the 29. Row 14, a pair of BAR teammates, Justin Mills in the 27, Richard Elliott in the triple zeros tonight. And rounding out the top 30, Jared Haynes in the 33 for One Stop Motorsports, and Daryl Redford in the 56 machine. Row 16 sees Steve Sizemore line up alongside the Jack Shack's Joe Huerta. Row 17, Larry McDonald in the 80 alongside Josh McCullough from McCullough Motorsports. Row 18, Freddie Bazinez is back tonight in the 12 machine. Dalton Martin to his outside in the 318. Row 19, PGR's Mike Davenport and the 87 of Jonathan Herbert. And rounding out the top 40, Evan Carlbon in the 71 and Brandon Matz in the 83. Row 21, Sierra Clamper, welcome back to PGR in the 38 alongside James Wagoner in the 36. Chase Mistretta for Nightmare Esports starts from 43rd with Brian Hennings back in the 44th position for PGR. Row 23, Mark Math in the 199 alongside Sean Corbett for BAR. Row 24, Carl Matz in the 30 machine alongside Terry Wilson in the 25. Row 25 will feature Tyler Vickery for PGR alongside a returning Ian Martin in the field tonight in the 98. And then the final two cars in the field actually tonight, J.R. Miller for PGR and Christian Martinez in the 14. So instead of 50, it is 52 in the field tonight for PGR eSports Intimidator Superspeedway Series Racing from Daytona. 55 laps on tap, 45% fuel, and no fast repair. The notable change to PGR over the last several weeks, and it's time to get down to business. The champ of the Podium 500 leads the field into the Geico race start zone. The racing's always hotter when we're under the lights in Daytona. Green flag is in the air. We're racing on a Thursday night. Field roars by the start-finish line. A one-lap complete. Wynn and McCullough dead even at the line for the race lead. And behind them, Alex Hill, Dylan Jones doing a good job right now of pushing. Everybody else minding P's and Q's until you get back to the 12 machine. Ethan Eckert is the man on the move right now, and he's got Jeff Merck along with him, two of the first to attempt the top side. Two more behind them. That is Chris Walker for the Jack Shack, Trevor Osmanoff for the Jack Shack as well. In front of them now, two more, and all of a sudden, we are racing on a Thursday night. Michael Triscaro out up top. Garrett Maines in tow in the one machine, and just as that third lane started to develop, it falls back apart. So much for that. Lap 2 complete. McCullough leads that one with the two Nightmare teammates in line. Devin Ray is there as well. Brand new look aboard that Jack Shack Chevrolet tonight. The blue and black and silver colors aboard that Toyota Supra. New look for him. A couple other sporty new looks. We'll get to that in a moment. Michael Triscaro was one of them, though. Almost didn't recognize that car without the prime colors aboard. But he does have a brand new paint job aboard that black, red, and dark gray, almost matte gray 34 Chevrolet. It is sleek, and it is coming to the front. Triscaro with Garrett Maines. He's got Jeff Merck alongside with him. And everything is kind of calmed back down. It was hectic for a moment there, but we're back to where it's relatively calm, and this is about what we expect for this kind of race. 45% fuel in this event, so pit stops will come into play should this race get into a bit of a green flag stint. Oldfield still, as far as I know, with the pack all the way back to about 53rd, 54th positions. And already some men on the move. Freddie Bazinez plus 10, Joe Huerta plus 12 already. Just 4 laps into this one, they are the men on the move right now, and it's mostly been the Jack Shack that's been on the move so far. McCullough still leads in the middle. Triscaro trying to do everything he can up top. Now the benefit of running at night, of course, under the lights is a little bit cooler track conditions, which allows that third line to have a little bit longer to work. Tonight, track temp at start, 86 degrees, a stark difference from what we're used to on Tuesdays, on Thursdays, and the SummerSlam last weekend. A much different environment than we're used to in these kinds of races. That third line's going to have a lot of time to cook up a run, but so far, no dice, and that's because those middle two lines, or the middle and bottom, excuse me, can push a lot more. They don't get hot as easily. You have to give them a little bit more time to start to boil, and then you make your move. Devin Ray decides the moment is right now. Jumps on the bumper of Michael Triscaro. Does anybody jump in? Nope. Triscaro is actually going to hang him out to dry. Jump back in the middle in front of Garrett Maines and back to 2x2 for the most part, with the exception of that number 2 Supra up against the safer barrier. Does anybody come to his aid? He's got 2 teammates back there on the outside line, about 7th and 8th in line right now. It's Walker and Oswornoth. Joe Huerta, actually, all 4 of the Jack Shack cars may line up right here, and they indeed do. Ray down in front of his teammate Walker, and it's Jack Shack lined up 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th in line. And again, if you did not catch the beginning of tonight's broadcast, Adam Young, I see that it says out on your timing and scoring. It's an iRacing issue. It's been a bug for a while that they nor I know the fix to right now. So I'm working on that. Half the field is being scored. They are on the racetrack. They're just not showing up in fact. Let's go back there and kind of show you what I mean. You see them pop into existence here. You see as I go a little bit further back, they kind of start to then be scored. If I go even further back, like back here around Sean Corbett, Sierra Clamper, it's an issue I have no fix for right now that we're working on. But there is a full field. There is 54 cars on the racetrack. Unfortunately, just not all being picked up by scoring right now. Things have really calmed down up front. 7 laps in, and this is about as calm as you're going to see it get all night. I mean, a lot of space being given right now. Look at the space between Dylan Jones and Kyler Wynn. The space between Alex Hill, Kenny McCullough. Now, Alex going to turn up the heat a little bit. Further back, it's the SummerSlam champ. It's Malik Ray on the move, but his help's going to dive out of line. That was Alec Martinez. That's a good group if you want to go to the front. Malik Ray, the SummerSlam 499 champion. Alec Martinez, our PGR winner from 7 days ago. McCullough was able to get down, allows now the 2 Nightmare teammates to lead the outside line. And, well, I feel like I've said that a lot. I said it a lot over SummerSlam 499 weekend. I'm saying it again tonight already, as those 2 cars are awfully sporty early in this race on the outside. But Kyler Wynn, Dylan Jones going to try to keep them up there. Kenny McCullough will go back to the graces here of Alex Hill. Once again, it's McCullough and Wynn along the front row of the field. Malik Ray is itching to go to the front back there. Freddie Bozanez is going to take him up on that offer this time. Martinez, though, unlike the last go-around, he's going to stay up top here. And Ray and Bozanez, boy, do they have a run on the outside of the racetrack. And here they come, and now they gain some help. Martinez sees it coming. One other car, I believe that might be, I'm trying to see a car number. That is the Darrell Redford machine, the 66, or 56, excuse me. Ray and Bozanez are the men on the move right now. They're already inside the top 10. They now are going to be dead even with Cody Nagels on row number 3. And here goes the nightmare entry of Alex Hill. No surprise, Hill to the outside. He takes the run in front of Malik. It's going to allow Kyler to get clear. It may allow Dylan Jones to get clear. Some contact between Kenny McCullough and Alex Hill on the exit of turn number 2. That was a big moment right there. Alex Hill, Kyler Wynn, Dylan Jones all side by side. As the field works again its way off turn number 4 and down into the tri-oval. Alex Hill, elbow to elbow to elbow with our 2 leaders here at the front. He's got a nice help base behind him. Those temps are going to run out awfully quick because now, as I said in the SummerSlam 499, I kind of said the same thing early in the feature event if you were with us for that big event a couple weeks ago. I kind of said at the beginning of that race that when that third line went very early, they went about 10 to 15 laps in, the second and first line were kind of caught off guard. They weren't expecting that move that early in the race. And by the time they got to them, okay, then, you know, in this case, it was Kenny McCullough and John Ellis. In that race, it was, I believe it was Andrew Navarro and Cody Nagels that were the 2 pushers. They had adjusted. And kind of what I mean by that is they were given a lot of space, and that run is not instant. It's not the next-gen car. As Kenny McCullough's going to take a look to the outside, he'll jump on the nose of Alex Hill, and now Kyler Wynn's in a bit of dire straits here. He's been bailed on twice in the last lap and a half. McCullough to the outside allows Dylan Jones to get a lap led with the help of John Ellis. But as I was saying, Malik Ray, wow, Malik Ray just forced that spot in line right behind Cody Nagels, takes the wind out of the third lane sails in the middle of turns 1 and 2. But the SummerSlam champ finding a nice way to the front already. He's going to lock down that spot right inside the top 10. But as I was getting at before, the run is not instant in this car. The next gen, it's kind of instant. You can pretty much control when you're on the back bumper of the person in front of you for the most part. as long as you're in line like this. In this car, even if you have somebody on your back bumper, it still takes a moment to get that run going. It takes a moment to get to the back bumper of that person, so it's going to take you about half a lap, and half a lap is plenty of time for that top lane to get connected and roll right past you on the outside, and all of a sudden you are buried second, third, fourth in line, depending on how many cars are up top. So in this case, it happened again, but this time a little bit more room to breathe in terms of temperatures, a little bit more room to breathe in terms of the space these guys are giving compared to that race. They were able to adjust and get right back on the back bumpers, and it has now stalled that top line again. Now, part of that contribution is due to Malik Ray. He jumped out of line at basically the worst possible position for that top lane, best possible position for himself. As he's going to be, when this all cycles out, he'll be 6th on the racetrack, maybe 5th by the time it all comes together. So for Ray, for Bazinez, for Alec Martinez, that worked out really well. For Alex Hill and Kenny McCullough, though, the short end of the stick on the 3rd lane so far. $12 down, 44 to go, already a quarter of the way, almost a quarter of the way through this one. It's going by quickly. Have pit stops here probably somewhere around lap 16 would be my guess. It may be a little bit later than that, we'll see. But probably 16 to 18 is going to be my guess for our first cycle of green flag pit stops. As Alex Hill got Kenny McCullough all the way even with the leaders. That's, you see what he did into 3 right there, and I can explain that. Again, as a driver, I can kind of explain, oh, caution flag. Right as I was going to explain that. Let's kind of see if we can get a little deeper in the field here. Chase Mastretta without a back bumper. See if we can get a little bit further back in the field here. It's like Jared Haynes with some rear end damage. Sean Corbett with some rear end damage. So this happened back around the 40th position, and again, due to that unfortunate technical issue for iRacing, I don't think we're going to be able to see this. Yeah, we are not. So, an incident towards the back, but from what I'm seeing anyway, from the guys here back towards the tail end of the field. So we'll try to look for them. Yeah, I mean, Christian Martinez is A-OK. Justin Carter is A-OK. So is Brandon Smith. Some damage on Brandon Matz. But it looks like some damage on the 318 of Dalton Martin. So, looking up here a little bit further up, Jonathan Herbert with some significant rear end damage. I mean, not significant, but a dent. But I mean, no major damage really for anybody right here. And now we're back up towards Chase Mastretta, who was the first car I thought had some damage. He actually may not have any damage. Oh, he does. He is without a back end, so it started somewhere around Chase Mastretta. And he, along with several others, now, again, I will go ahead and explain as the entire field is going to come down pit road here. But I will go ahead and explain again, these cars, as we explained throughout SummerSlam 499 weekend, are very durable. You can get in a wreck, you can come to pit road, they'll hammer it out, they'll put a new bumper on the car, you can roll right back onto the racetrack, you're fine, you're up to speed, you're able to stay with the pack. Now, there's no fast repair, so if you get in any major incident, then your night is most likely over. But these minor ones, these dents, these pushed-in fenders, scrapes, scratches, even a back bumper that's been taken off your car, even a front bumper that's been taken off your car, that is plenty to fix in a race like this where these cars are very, very durable. We'll look through chat here in a second, but I did catch Lisa Winter wanting to know where Tyler Vickery is. Currently in the 16th position on the Speedway, the PGR eSports Chevrolet. Still running the SummerSlam 499 special event scheme, and I can't say I blame him. I love that number gradient he's got on the side of that car. It's really a cool look for Tyler Vickery. So he currently rides in the 16th position. Good start to the night. He's plus 33 on the night already. He started back in 49th. And he is plus 33 to this point on the night. Great run so far for Tyler Vickery. See if he can keep it up. A man who cashed in the SummerSlam 499, was in the money positions. And looking to get another good run in tonight's race. Well, Mike Davenport led the field off of pit road. I'm not sure. He was way ahead of the leaders, so I'm wondering here if he may have missed his pit box. We're going to get a decent idea of that here in just a moment. As let's see if he comes back down pit road here this second time by the start-finish line. And he will hang the left out onto the apron, so Davenport will cede the lead. Back to Kyler Wynn. And it is Wynn, Jones, McCullough, Ellis, Ray, your top 5 for the upcoming race start. And the biggest mover here at the front is Freddie Bazanes plus 22, and then Vickery plus 33. Other than that, nobody else up a ton of spots right now. I'm getting a question about Cody. Let's go check on the 6 of Cody Nagels. And you might be right. There perhaps was a penalty. He's going to take tires. That indicates to me there is a penalty on the 6 machine. So Cody Nagels busted, I believe, on this first round of pit stops. That's one of the heavy hitters in the field that's going to have to drive from the back. He was scored back around the 42nd position. So good call. Tough break for Cody Nagels. Tough break for some of the guys towards the back end of the field. But a good start to tonight's race, over a quarter of the way in. Only about 10 laps short of halfway. So now the first pit stop is done and over with, and we did not get to the window. We were very, very close. We were about 2 laps short, I think, of when they would have come to pit road anyway. So when we go back green here, we expect about another 16 to 18 laps. I mean, 32 to 34. If you could stretch it to 36, you would be able to make it on one stop. And if 18 is the max you can go, 2 laps is attainable in this car if you save hard enough back around that 25th, ish position where you're not running, 110% all the time. You're not putting you're not putting the loud pedal through the firewall. If you're not running up here in the top, 10, 12, 14 cars where you're all go all the time, there's a decent chance that you could save 2 laps of gas, make it that extra couple laps, and maybe find yourself in a really good position here. Pace car down. Field in the hands of Kyler Wynn and Dylan Jones. And Kyler goes really early. Green flag back in the air. He went right at the start of the restart zone, and he's immediately going to pull on the nose of Dylan Jones. So now Wynn, Jones, Ellis, Alex Hill to the middle of the pack. Wow, okay. Alex Hill, no time wasted there. And John Ellis, you could see right there, he expressed his frustration with the driver of the 77. That was risky by Alex Hill on lap 17, but it works. Malik Ray, quick move to the outside. That was a flick of the wrist to the outside of the racetrack. McCullough left hanging. New leader, the man who won the belt a couple weekends ago. Malik Ray finds himself on the point of PGR again. Does Wynn take the left turn? He's weaving back and forth, trying to fake out Malik. He's trying to bait him to a move one way or the other. Now he'll resort to pushing. That's awfully tough pushing on the back end of him in the middle of the corner, though. Malik able to hold on. McCullough recovers to the bottom. Wynn, Jones still in line with Hill, then Merck, then Bazanes. Ellis dropped all the way back to 11th. Right to the point. 38 laps to go. Wynn to the outside now, Malik Ray. And again, John Ellis, you saw it on that restart. He was not happy with the way he was raced by Alex Hill, and he showed it. He doored Alex a little bit on the banking in turn 1, made his displeasure felt, and then jumped back in line, back 6th on the outside, right in front of Garrett Maines. Ray, Wynn, double file for the race leader on the end of the back straightaway and into turn number 3. And let's actually, while we're at it, get an onboard look with John Ellis. He's dropped out. He had a lot better view a couple of moments ago, 3rd in line behind Dylan Jones. And look at this. Perfect timing on this. He's going to go to the outside. And when he gets to that 77, I can't imagine this is going to be the most friendly racing. Jeff Merck to the outside with him, and they will both try to challenge the outside because look at the company they got coming behind them. Garrett Maines, Christopher Carter, and one other car. I believe that's the OSM machine of Landon Velicky. It is the 62, the orange and yellow Mustang Dark Horse on the outside behind Carter. 6 cars, make it 5 now, lined up on the outside, and Jeff Merck leads them. The 60 machine will get briefly to the point as they hit turn 3. Kyler Wynn, that was side drafting at its finest, trying to keep them up there Ray to the middle to block. This is a defensive move. He's trying to keep that top line pinned. He's trying not to allow Jeff Merck to overhop the leaders here and gain the track position that these leaders have got right now. Back down towards turn number 1. 36 laps to go. Now 6 cars again. Alec Martinez rejoins the fray, and again Jeff Merck starts to pull even with the leaders. He needs one good push from Ellis here, and he can get up even with the right side door number of Malik Ray. But I don't think it's going to come right now. Oh, Kyler Wynn almost got knocked out of line there, I believe, by Dylan Jones. Trying to square up on Malik. They are pushing several cars deep in line here. 3 by 3, 6 rows deep. Really great stuff here at the front, but now that third lane starts to fade. Ray, McCullough, back to a commanding lead. Wynn and Mullahan are the pushers, teammates on the bottom side. And 2 guys in the middle that know each other very well, in Malik Ray and Kyler Wynn. This is getting a little bit dangerous. If you're back towards the back end of this first pack, I'd recommend backing up just a little bit more, because this is like a ticking time bomb. That's what Austin likes to say. I like to say we're getting close to the boiling point. This cannot last. This type of racing, it's just not attainable for too terribly long. With the way these cars bounce around the racetrack, the way the pushes get, how long can they maintain this before somebody somewhere makes just the slightest mistake? Merck down to side draft, trying to pull Malik back to him. That allows Kenny McCullough to drive back through to the lead. It will not allow him to get clear, but it will allow him to lead by half a car length as the field works its way back down. Off of turn number 4 and into the tri-oval. At the line, McCullough by a nose over Malik Ray, over Jeff Merck. Trying to get this. There we go. It's down the backstretch. Ray, you see, by half a car length. Here comes the push. Push coming to the top side as well. And still McCullough and Ray side by side. Top side still. It's all trouble. Chris Walker was the car I saw get around in the 23. He's going to go sideways. I caught that one. He slides to a stop, but here comes some more cars along the way. And boy, all things considered, that could have gone a lot worse. Let's see as he drives away what the collateral damage of that one was, but I saw him just out of the corner of my eye. He was the first one I saw get out of shape. And let's go take a look at it here. Chris Walker, he was running right back here. He's by Mark Math, the 56 of Darrell Redford, the 71 of Carl Bond, his teammate, the 2 of Ray in front of him. And let's try to get to a little bit better. Here we go. So off turn 4. He's running bottom of 3 wide. And I think Darrell Redford, well, off turn 4. Everybody's still okay. Look at Redford coming down a little bit. Oh, man. A really, really bad example there of right rear net code. That was one of the further examples I've seen. Mark Math, incredibly lucky to get away from that one. He got hit in a perfect spot to keep that car straight. And we kind of catch the end of this as well. And more cars slide in, and Cody Nagels is one of them. Oh, boy. Well, I didn't see that the first time. And Cody Nagels, considerable damage in the car, crab walking. My goodness, one of the favorites all of a sudden. What a turn of events. Cody Nagels, I did not catch this. Severe damage to the 6 machine. And what happens here? In the fray to miss the wreck, let's see. Looks like Josh McCullough, Sean Corbett, Terry Wilson, Jonathan Herbert, Justin Mills were the cars around him, and heavy, heavy damage to the front end of Cody Nagels. Oh boy, a night ender for one of PGR's winningest drivers. Let's go back to Chris Walker here. Try to take another look at this one. And actually, this is going to be a perfect camera angle for me to show you. Watch how aggressive this netcode is right here. Watch how much separation there is between these two cars when they quote-unquote get together. I mean, that's 3 feet between these two cars on the left front of Redford, the right front of Walker, and it registers contact. That's what we mean by netcode. It registers contact when perhaps there is not any. And unfortunately there for Walker and for several cars behind him. And it ends up turning the 23 sideways. Now, all things considered, again, much like the first incident, he got very, very lucky there. You'll be able to see it from this angle, too. Again, you'll see kind of what I mean. Watch the 56 of Redford, the 23 of Walker. Bottom of your screen. Watch how much separation there is between these two cars when this wreck starts. I mean, that's at least 3 feet. A really unfortunate break there for Chris Walker. And an especially unfortunate break for Cody Nagels, whose night tonight in PGR appears to be done and over with. On lap 25. So, several more cars. You see Walker, Mills, a couple others. Maybe that was Richard Elliott as well, coming off pit road, fixing some damage. And they will attempt to get their way back into this race. Well, now, the pit stop is going to be closer to the end of tonight's race. Now, expect anywhere from 42 to 44 to be the final pit stop. But we get inside of lap 35, we're going to see guys stretch it to the end. So the strategy continues to change here tonight at Daytona. Malik Ray, Kenny McCullough still on row number 1. Kyler Wynn, Jeff Merck on row 2. John Mullahan and Andrew Navarro on row 3. It's John Ellis and Garrett Maines on row 4. And Alex Hill and Michael Triscaro make up row number 5. And that will be your top 10. The man suddenly starting to make a little bit of noise. You'll find back around, I believe, the 14th position on the speedway right now. And that is the Cornflakes Chevrolet of Kevin Freese. He's kind of biding his time. He's not running all the way at the back. He's kind of just mingling around where he can feel safe compared to the racing up front until he's ready to make his move. Well, it appears that time may be pushed upon him here with 30 laps to go. He may just have to get up front. That is one of the guys who has a mastery of this race car. Kevin Freese is he's one of the guys on track. It's not a dig at anybody else on the racetrack, but Freese is one of those guys that just has a killer instinct in this race car. He really likes the way it drives. It really fits his style, and so far tonight he's been a little quiet. It's about time for that 25 to start making some noise. Pace car to pit road. Malik Ray, Kenny McCullough bring the field into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We're racing again at Daytona. Great start, bottom side. Malik Ray clear by a car length, almost 2 full car lengths, and now, yeah, he's going to have to transition up the racetrack. Don't want to risk Kyler Wynn getting clear here in the middle of turns 1 and 2. McCullough will be the pusher, and the bottom lane has bailed. 3 cars in line. It's Wynn, Mullahan, Ellis, now Navarro, and Maines will transition down there. And now it's opposite again. Maines going to drop back up top. 4v4 at the front, then a gap back to Alex Hill, who is really getting a helpful push from Michael Triscaro. You saw that 77. He was squirrely there at the middle of the back straightaway. 30 laps to go. A pit stop still to come under green flag conditions. Freddie Bostonez, Alec Martinez jump out of line. They're the first to go 3 wide in this second half of the race. Jack Shackar still looming. Devin Ray, Trevor Osborne, Joe Huerta looming back there as well. Back around the 20th position. Freese, big move, Kevin Freese to the outside, and now he's decided, okay, I've waited around long enough, half the race is complete, I'm going to go to the front by any means necessary, and that means will be Alex Hill, now it'll be Garrett Maines, now it'll be Freddie Bostonez, and now it'll be Landon Velicki, and just like that, 5 cars deep outside lane, and Garrett Maines has a huge head of steam. Wynn leads in 3, but it won't be for long. Garrett Maines is getting a monster push on the outside from Alex Hill. Oh, Maines, Malik going to make some contact. Malik down into John Mullahan. Everybody keeps it straight. Mains top to bottom. Trouble right at the front. John Mullahan goes sideways. The big one's going to strike. Ethan Eckert, Trevor Oswernoth, and several other cars involved. Michael Triscaro, Evan Karlbahn, they're still piling in here. David Sheets involved. Joe Huerta appears to may have missed it here. But several big-name cars involved. Jeff Merck has damage. Chase Mastretta has damage. Landon Velicki, big damage. Brandon Matz, he's damaged. I believe that might be Kenny McCullough that's got some damage as well. It's not, it's Mike Davenport. They drive very similar cars. And the big one strikes on lap 28. As I believe it was John Mullahan that got out of shape first on the bottom. I could not tell who got down into him. And we're going to have to go try to find this out. John Mullahan, the first car I saw get around. And this was big. I don't even know what camera angle we're going to be able to use here to capture all of this as it happens. We may even have to get higher there than the chopper. We have to go to the blimp. Let's go to the blimp. And let's see what happens here. Watch John Mullahan on the bottom. Oh, right there. Kevin Freeze. A little bit of a tail whip. We're actually going to have to go away from the blimp. A little bit of a tail whip to Kenny McCullough. Gets him down into John Mullahan. And it is on. Look at this. Eckert, Carter, Triscaro, Martinez. Actually, Trevor Oswernoth may very well have missed this. You see Karlbahn, Sheets, Ray, Huerta, Davenport. Couple other cars pile in. Herbert gets hit by the 36. I'm trying to figure out. My scoring is going absolutely insane right now. Jared Haynes squeaks through. Kevin Freeze is involved. Oh, man. Big hit there for Brian Hennings as he hits Kenny McCullough. Holy cow. This is the big one. Wow. Watch again. Watch Kevin Freeze. Again, the black and red 25 on the outside. Kenny McCullough, the black, white, and red 03 in the middle. Watch this contact right here. Bang. Right there. He gets in the right front of Kenny. It shoots him down the racetrack. And then when this track gets blocked, there is nowhere you can go. Oh, man. Kevin Freeze had it missed. And then gets clipped at the last second by a onrushing John Mullahan. Triscaro, Carter, Eckert, Martinez. Look at Dylan Jones. Oh, my goodness, Dylan Jones. You see Merck collect Huerta and Ray. Mastretta slides in. The 26, and I had seen that car for a second on my timing and scoring, but again, it's completely all over the place. That's David Flanagan in the 26. And the 36. Again, my scoring, if you could see it right now, it's completely flipping on its head. 36 is James Wagoner. That's who got in the back of I'm watching this back again. Oh, actually, there was contact. You saw the contact before that with Mullahan. As we go to the drone cam. You saw the contact at the beginning of the trial. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to have time to get all the onboards here. There's several I want to look at, but we'll watch one more view of this. We'll try to get to a couple onboards before we go back green. I mean, look at this. I mean, the track gets completely blocked. Kenny McCullough up in the air. I didn't see that the first time. Oh, my goodness. So many good cars involved in this one. Okay. Let's go back. Let's try to get a couple of these onboard views. And the first one we're going to go to, we're going to look onboard with Tyler Vickery in the 124 for Team PGR. How did he get through this? See, he's still parting to the left. Tyler Vickery, that's a great miss there. Jared Haynes, he's going to pop in a shot late, I think. Yeah, he's going to pop in a shot late, so let's see. Oh my goodness, he's doing his best Lightning McQueen impression right there as the seas part for him. Holy cow. Well, the big one has struck on lap number 28, and it has completely flipped this race on its head. Several of tonight's betting favorites are out of the race as of lap 25. And again, you'll kind of be able to tell who now no longer is at the front as we get into the later portions of this race. That was 20 cars right there in that wreck alone, and several had very severe damage. Up front, Garrett Maines leads, Alex Hill second. Row 2, Kyler Wynn and Malik Ray. Row 3 is Andrew Navarro and John Ellis. Row 4 is Freddie Bozanez and Tyler Vickery. In row 5, Christopher Carter and Jared Haynes. And all of a sudden, the complexion of 11th on back in this field just got very, very interesting. A lot of drivers now, really even beyond that, from about 8th on back in this field, 7th on back in this field, have never won in PGR eSports. Tonight could be their first ever victory, and they've been handed this opportunity, not handed in that way, but now a golden opportunity to win a race, but 6 of the best still up at the front of the field, trying to keep them from doing so. Stephen Miles is a name that comes to mind, is yet to win in PGR. Could tonight be the night? Jared Haynes, same thing. Green flag, Alex Hill, oh man, I thought he spun the tires there for a moment, but he does get going, and we're back under green. Okay. Everybody take a breath, you might not get another one. 24 to go, still a pit stop in play. Vickery going to drop to the inside. I honestly don't mind that. 24 to go, there's still a pit stop to contend with. You just saw the wreck that took out a bunch of cars. I probably would give myself an out. I drop down, just hang out. Well, and I stand corrected. He's going to jump in right behind Freddie Bozanez. So the top 6 are starting to not really drive away, but... Oh, trouble! Garrett Maines gets turned right at the front of the field out of the lead. Can the whole field save it? Garrett Maines, are you kidding me? The save of the year. And the whole field keeps it going as well. Garrett Maines with one of the highlights of the year. And now, oh my goodness, he's in the side of Kyler Wynn. Garrett Maines is going to go around. And now trouble. Big trouble in turn 1. They're going to pile him up. What in the world did we just watch? Stephen Miles is involved. Darrell Redford is involved. Tyler Vickery was involved. What in the world was that from Garrett Maines? From the best save of the year to, I'll be completely frank, what looked like an attempt at an intentional wreck. Oh my goodness, what just happened? And wow, I'm completely speechless. We all saw that unfold in real time. I have no idea how we caught that, but I mean, you guys saw it the same way I did. Maines made an incredible save. I mean, let's go back. Let's go up to Garrett Maines. I don't know if we can find him on the running order here. Okay, let's start this shuffle here from the beginning. So, all the way back here in turn 3. Again, a whole lap before this happens, basically. So watch this. Kyler Wynn and Ray, and Garrett Maines. Okay, just let's stop for a second. Let me preface this. This car, for the past 3 months, since it got its newest update, its biggest new update, has been notorious for this left rear bumper hook. It's kind of, and you're going to see this when I play the clip. I probably should just play the clip, but watch. Kyler Wynn is going to slide from right to left. This happens every week. It happens every night. It happened numerous times in the SummerSlam 499 weekend. Maybe not in the feature race, but it happened. And it happened last week. It happened on Tuesday. This is something that happens a lot. This is a very common occurrence. It's happened to Garrett Maines before. So watch here. See Kyler, right to left, slide, and then right here, there's not much he can do. It happens so incredibly fast that by the time that happens, look at Kyler's off the gas. I mean, he's not driving through him. He's off the gas immediately. Fire out of the pipes of both cars. Look at fire out of the pipes of all three of these cars. And Wynn and Navarro, credit to the 82 and the 44, they allowed Garrett to make the save. They didn't drive over him after he tried to make the first save and come back up. So Garrett makes the save. Okay. Kyler jumps to the outside. And now watch here. And watch what unfolds here headed to turn one. Hits once, hits twice, hits three, hits four. And actually, the wreck's going to start behind them. But I want to know if there's fire out of the pipes, maybe of a Darrell Redford, where he saw this happening. And perhaps it was perpetuated from this. Let's see. Look back there at Darrell Redford. Let's see if there's fire in the pipes when this starts to happen. All right, that's a turn back to the right. That's a turn back. Oh, my goodness. Well, that's a pretty definitive look at it right there. Let's see. Is there fire out of the pipes at Darrell Redford? There is. Right there. You saw the fire out of the pipes. Wow. I mean, I'm not often left speechless when I do this. Often I have some words where I actually go back and watch the wreck. And Redford, this is just a tough break for these cars back here. Because they see that starting to unfold in front of them. Redford's the first on the brakes. And Joe Huerta, nothing to him at all. I mean, no offense to him. There's nothing he can do. Redford's on the brakes. Then Huerta's on the brakes. You just can't bring these cars to a stop on a dime. Huerta gets in the back of the 56. And from there, it's collateral damage. Tyler Vickery is destroyed. Darrell Redford, Terry Wilson, Stephen Miles is destroyed. 5 cars that are out of tonight's race, most likely. Miles may be able to continue. But 5 cars likely out of tonight's race because really of a wreck that started 5 rows in front of this. Let's take another look. So let's back it up to where all this starts because I want you to understand kind of where I'm coming at with Redford. Watch up ahead. You're going to see the Garrett Maines. Well, you might not actually see it. Let's see here. Watch up ahead. Look at that. Maines and Wynn, they start to duel, right? Okay, now watch Darrell Redford at the bottom of your screen in the 56. When Garrett goes off and the cars start to lift in front of him, watch Redford get on the brakes. Fire out of the pipes. He's on the brakes, on the brakes, on the brakes. Because of the checkup started in front of him when Garrett Maines and Kyler Wynn got together. And Redford, he almost kept it down. Actually collects Sierra Clampert as well. Yeah, Stephen Miles, well, nope, loses the front end, so stand corrected there too. So Huerta, Vickery, Redford, Miles, Clampert, Wilson, the 6 cars officially technically involved. If you want to count Garrett Maines and Kyler Wynn in that, you can feel free to do so because the stack-up began up in front with they were going at it. Well, okay, 20 laps to go. We got to reset again. A very interesting turn of events right there and a very unfortunate break for 6 cars. Malik Ray, John Ellis, row 1. Freddie Bazinez, Kyler Wynn, row 2. Alex Hill, Andrew Navarro, row 3. Christopher Carter, Garrett Maines on row 4. Dylan Jones and Ian Martin back on row number 5. 19 laps to go. The pit stop may very well be done and over with, and if that's the case, this race is about to get interesting. Green flag is back in the air. 19 to go at Daytona. Great start on the bottom side. Ray and Wynn, they got going very well. Their help got going okay as well on Alex Hill, but now Ray will drop to the outside to the help of John Ellis. It's 4 cars lined up. Maines to the bottom, and just as they do in local short track racing, ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye on the 82, the red and white Chevrolet, and the 1, the MCU body Ford Mustang, because that may be an interesting dynamic here for the next 19 laps as they get next to each other. Ray and Wynn continue to battle for the lead, and the field is very split up right now, back all the way towards the 17th position. Oh boy, here we go again. Wynn getting some contact now from Alex Hill. And this is very heated racing. And actually, It's about a 10-car breakaway before about a 4/10 gap back to David Flanagan. I mean, a lot of cars did not get a very good start on this restart. Ray down to the bottom now in front of Wynn. Kyler Wynn has not made a ton of friends tonight. He's going to start to push Malik. Oh, man, they're off center again. Have we not learned our lesson? Apparently not. Wynn all over the back of the 7 of Malik Ray. Outside, it's Ellis, Bazinez. Dylan Jones going to jump out there and join the fun. And a couple other guys that have not exactly made friends tonight. John Ellis, Alex Hill are next to each other now. Christopher Carter, a little further back. David Flanagan as well. Dalton Martin, Trevor Oswornoth, Jared Haynes, Brennan Matz. They're not out of this thing yet. Neither is Sierra Clampert. Kevin Freese, Josh McCullough, James Wagner. So really, there's going to be about 24 cars probably still in contention for this. By the time all said and done, all the way back to about Chris Walker towards the end of this lead draft. I mean, it's insane. Now we've gone from 54 down to 24, really in contention for the win. And the way they're racing with 17 to go still, that number's going to wane even more. Wynn, Ray, side by side. Freeze to the outside with Merck. Jeff Merck, I don't believe, is on the lead lap, but he's helping Kevin Freeze. Christopher Carter going to jump out in front of Kevin Freeze. He wants to try to go to the front now. The 49 going to get racy with 16 to go. I thought he got hooked for a second. He did not. Carter trying to hold her down, trying to get to the front of the field. It's still Ray and Wynn side by side up front. Bazinez outside. Big move there from the 54. The Interstate Battery Supra wants a piece of the action. Starting to get racy again. 16 to go. Down to the closing stages. Ray blocks the third line. Big block by the SummerSlam champ. Carter out of line, and that stalls the lane. And that's another move where it just, oh my goodness, 15 laps to go. Trouble! Alex Hill! Oh my goodness, Alex Hill! Well, Garrett Maines had the save of the year a minute ago. That may have just changed hands. Because Alex Hill not only half spun, he's still 4th place on the racetrack. Look at this, blocking, weaving back and forth. Wynn blocks top, he blocks bottom. Does he block top again? He does. Now he goes up on the bumper of Alex Hill. Kyler's going to get driven through. Alex into the side of the 82. They're banging doors like it. Oh, trouble out back. David Flanagan saves it. David Flanagan, nice save. We got to go back up front, though, because they're banging doors. Like we're in Knoxville. Trouble! Garrett Maines just wrecked the 82, but the 82 saves it. Oh, and it's getting petty now. It's officially reached petty stage. Alex Hill's not happy. Garrett Maines is not happy. Kyler Wynn's not happy. Holy cow. This is it. Oh, take a breath. Take a deep breath. Everybody's calmed down for a moment. Alex Hill leads. John Ellis. Oh, did Ellis just pop the motor? Oh, geez. Ellis coming back up on the racetrack. And the motor popped. John Ellis has lost an engine. The engine expires aboard the 21. They are dropping like flies. And all of a sudden, who gets through the smoke? Trevor Oswornoth. Where did he come from? All of a sudden, now he's 4th. Maines to the outside. Look out. Here comes Kyler Wynn. Here we go again. These two are going to meet once again. Oswornoth blinks. Oh, it's going to stack that lineup. Oh, boy. Maines into the side of Oswornoth. Goodness. I mean, this is pure, petty, heated racing. Blood is boiling over here in the last 13 laps. They got to make it almost 30 miles. Uh-oh. 82 in the 1. Side by side now, nose to tail. Keep an eye on it back there. Wynn going to play nice for now. Navarro leads. Freeze is 2nd. Christopher Carter is 3rd, and they're going to pit. Ray and Wynn, the first 2 to hit pit road. And that's probably for the better. Get the 82 and the 1 away from each other for a moment. And Adam Young, you are dead on, and that includes me behind the microphone. The composure is out the window right now. On the track, off the track, in the booth. There's no composure whatsoever in this race. This is some of the most just high-intensity, high-temperature racing that I have ever seen. We got Alex Hill and Kyler. They're not happy with each other. Alex Hill and John Ellis aren't happy with each other. Garrett Maines and Trevor Osborne now probably aren't very happy with each other. Garrett Maines and Kyler Wynn aren't happy with each other. And in all that, we still have a race going on the racetrack, by the way. 11 laps to go. And Ray and Wynn have made their final pit stop, so we're waiting on the leaders now to do so. Andrew Navarro, I mean, he's saying thank you very much. I mean, you guys are going to bully each other. I'm going to go lead some laps. He just basically got to the front by keeping the car on its four wheels and not getting sideways. So everything is calmed back down. That was a very intense, about 10 minutes. Oh, my goodness, they caught lap cars going very slow in the outside, but everybody manages to get by. Ooh, big moment there. Okay, we're going to reset the field for you. Now it's 10. Again, take a quick moment. We'll reset the field. Navarro, Hill, Freeze, Jones, Carter, Oswornoth, Maines, Bozanes, Haynes, Martin. Then Josh McCullough, Ethan Eckert, James Wagoner, Brandon Matz, Chris Walker, Dalton Martin, Steve Sizemore, Sierra Clampert, and Justin Carter. Those are the 19 cars remaining in the lead draft. You see Carter in that blue and pink car at the back of the field. Third line working. It's the one-stop motorsports driver, Jared Haynes. And he's got Josh McCullough with him. And they're bringing James Wagoner to the front. The unlikeliest of heroes coming to the front of the field right now. 9 laps to go. Again, a pit stop is still in play. We believe. Anyway, it's close. I might not have a voice by the time this one's over. That is not the last of the action. We've seen, I'll tell you this, as they're 3 wide for the lead. Haynes, elbow to elbow to elbow with the leaders. Oh, man, Josh McCullough. He's risking a lot trying to push right there. But I will say, as Jared Haynes goes to the point, Garrett Maines is a man on a mission right now. He's racing with an intensity, with an aggression I have not seen out of him in a while. Haynes just barely not going to get clear in front of Alex Hill. 3x3, 4 rows deep back to Chris Walker and Garrett Maines. And again, the field works its way off turn number 4 and down to the start-finish line. 8 laps to go at Daytona. The question now, Ray and Wynn dove for pit road very early. That means likely the leaders have to pit, and those 2 cars, they are losing a ton of time right now. If the leaders pit, they're not going to be able to catch back up. That early pit stop is not going to play into their favor. Down the Daytona super stretch, Haynes still hanging tough, just not able to get clear. He gets to about half a car length, maybe the wheel well, and then that's as far as he can get. They are trying their best, though, to get him clear, to try to get him out front. And what a story it would be if the driver for OSM could come home a winner tonight. His teammate, Landon Velicki, was about 1,000 feet, maybe less than that, short of locking himself into the Tuesday Night Thunder playoffs. Jared Haynes looking for a massive win tonight in the Intimidator Superspeedway Series. Contact, 7 in the 77. Contact again. Oh, man. The side drafts get more aggressive. The pushing gets more aggressive, more desperate. Hill side drafting up, holding that third lane back. Still dead even 3x3. And quickly, just to give you an idea of why these guys are racing the way they are, payouts, they will scale up from here. I'll try to make it as quick as possible to get back to the action. 250 to the winner, 200 to second, 150 to third, 125 to fourth, 100 to fifth, 60 to sixth. Again, top 6 in order. 250, 200, 150, 125, 100, and 60. And that will scale up because 54 guys started the race, so it may be closer to 275, 280 to the winner tonight. And these guys are racing like it's the SummerSlam 499 last weekend. We all know how that race ended. Navarro continues to lead. He's in command now, and he's got one of the best pushers in the field. Kevin Freese behind him. He'll jump to the graces of Alex Hill in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Finally, an opportunity to cool Kevin Freese's engine down. And Haynes begins to fade. Now you wonder, does Alex Hill take it? Nope, not anymore, because now he's going to lead the top side again. Navarro back down to Kevin Freese. Haynes continues to fade. And looking back, Chris Walker was able to squeeze his way into a gap in the middle. And an X-Factor team perhaps now that Jack Shack has 2 cars lined up in this lead draft. Osborne third in line. Walker is 4th in line. They would be the 2 I'd start to watch to hang 3 wide and try to go for this. Kevin Freese is going to get clear right here if Navarro's not careful. Not quite, though. Hill keeps him in check. Oh, trouble! Car around to the back. Sierra Clampert. Are they going to keep it green for now? Yes. Still yes. Still yes. 4 laps to go. We're going to keep it green. Sierra Clampert got out of shape back there in the exit of turn number 4. Freeze! Oh, man, that was a massive push from Carter. Watch those 2 Jack Shack cars. Dylan Jones also. Navarro in the best position of anybody right now. Playing Pied Piper. The lead pack is down to just 12 cars. If the field makes it to the white flag, the race is official. We'll race it out. If not, 3 green-white checkered attempts remain. Coming back, it'll be 3 laps to go, and that push is just disintegrated from the top side. Freeze now is clear if he wants to take it. He doesn't. He stays on the back bumper of Navarro. Oh, he doesn't have enough now. Hill gets back to his his right rear quarter panel. He's going to get it again here in 1 and 2. Kevin Freese, knowing the kind of guy he is, I think he's going to try to take it here. Hill runs a tad bit up the racetrack, but no cigar for Freese. He's buried. Look up top side. Bozanes and Ethan Eckert. Oh, but they don't have any help. Their run's going to fade. No help. No help topside. Those 2 have gotten all the way to the lead. They just don't have the help. Does anyone jump out there? Eckert, tight side draft. Jeff Merck going to go out there with him. Off turn number 4. Freese comes to pit road. And now the question, fuel mileage. Who's got enough to make it home? 2 laps to go. Eckert, he can go middle. He's clear. He can drop down. He's trying to bring Bazinez with him. Eckert will go to the middle. He'll try to go to the bottom, and Alex Hill's off the racetrack. Alex Hill going to hold his ground. That's fine. We're all good, all fair. Hill on the bottom. Eckert in the middle. And if you'll remember back with me, Atlanta, several weeks back, Ethan Eckert led most of the race, got taken out in a late race incident. Now, after one of the most insane sagas in money racing over the last couple weeks with Ethan Eckert, he's 2.5 miles from potentially becoming a PGR winner. They're going to make it back. White flag, 1 lap to go, and now it's up to who has the better push. Lap cars up ahead. They got to bail out of the way. Hill, good push on the bottom from Navarro, but Dylan Jones is holding his ground in the middle. Trouble out back, trouble in the front. Dylan Jones gets hit. Eckert down to really try to side draft now. Osborne will come to his aid. Garrett Maines will jump high as well. Eckert's got a great group of 3. He's just got to hold it straight. And Osborne has temps. Does Trevor Osborne take a look for the win? Hill up to side draft. Eckert trying to hang on to the race car. It's going to be a drag race all the way back to the start-finish line. Who's going to get the job done? Hill on the bottom. Eckert on the top side. Osborne, does he take a look? No move yet. Now goes bottom. At the line, can you believe this? Ethan Eckert wins it at Daytona. And in one of the biggest roller coaster sagas in the history of money racing, from wrecked to suspended to victory lane. What a race. Unreal. And Ethan Eckert, judging by the way his car is coming to a stop, may very well be out of gas. Wow. I mean, he held the race-winning move, and I'll go back and I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to give him a chance, well, unless he's out of gas to celebrate here. Let's see. Does he have the fuel? Certainly does not appear that way. Oh my goodness, his fuel made it to turn 1. So let's go back. Let's take a look at the checkered flag moment for Ethan Eckert. And I want to show you kind of what I was talking about, this race-winning move on the backstretch. Or really out on the exit of 2. Watch this. So Dylan Jones, again, being in the middle, now on the bottom, you know, Navarro is a great pusher, but he gets Alex out of shape a little bit right here going into 1. He slides right. Now he's going to slide back left. And when he slides back left, you see them wreck out back with... Look at Dylan Jones and Bosines get net-coated together. When they go sideways, now watch Eckert just lean on the quarter panel of Alex Hill, and he just holds enough ground. He holds enough space that he's able to stay on the door number of Alex right here, even despite a big push from Navarro. Watch as Eckert just leans. That's the push I'm talking about. It got Alex a little bit out of shape. And now here comes the cavalry for Eckert. 3 deep on the bottom. Garrett Maines had a decision to make, and he went to the top side. And he held enough of the quarter panel, enough of the side draft, that he was able to then get hooked up. Osronoff got on his back bumper. And from there, this is the longest mile of your life as a driver if you have not been to victory lane, especially in a moment like this. He leans down on the door, and again, fair. Alex is up off the bottom. They make a little bit of contact. Alex dips 2 tires below the line. Navarro dipped out. He was out of gas. So Navarro, or well, I'm not sure. He dipped below the line, and that Alex loses all of his help. Osron, that's a good look, but no cigar on the run. Eckert, nice block bottom. And I think, does he throw one more here? Well, he does. Trevor put 2 tires below the line, but... Well. Okay. Let's again, just make sure, again, kind of similarly to the finish of the SummerSlam 499. You see Carter. Oh, man, Christopher Carter. He actually comes across the line sideways 4th. Eckert tail whips a little bit there. So, nothing really, I don't think it's anything egregious. In fact, Osronoff had gone below the line by about a half car length to try to get himself in position to make a move on Ethan Eckert, and he tried to come back up. Eckert was kind of coming down as well, and got him out of shape. So, we'll go through the finishing results. And then we will grab your top 3 for interviews, also get some confirmation just to ensure the last lap is all clean and good on the race control side of things. And then we will talk to your top 3 from tonight's wild one at Daytona. But we'll go through the finishing results here first. As of now, Ethan Eckert, for the first time in his career, is a PGR eSports winner. Trevor Osronoff comes home in 2nd. Garrett Maines recovers tonight to finish in 3rd. Christopher Carter finishes 4th. Ian Martin, welcome back to Money Racing. Ian Martin, he finishes 5th. Alex Hill finishes 6th. Andrew Navarro in 7th. Josh McCullough 8th. Freddie Bosines 9th. And Dylan Jones in 10th. Dalton Martin 11th in his first start. Congratulations to him. Kyler Wynn in 12th. Malik Ray 13th. Kevin Freese 14th. George Bark 15th. And David Flanagan 16th. Brandon Matz 17th. Damon Gilbert back in 18th. Justin Carter 19th. And James Wagoner in 20th. Nash Brambilla finishes 21st. Chris Walker in 22nd. Richard Elliott 23rd. Alec Martinez 24th. And Michael Triscaro 25th. Jared Haynes 26th. Justin Mills 27th. Jonathan Herbert 28th. Mike Davenport 29th. And Steve Sizemore in 30th. Sierra Clampert in 31st, Kenny McCullough 32nd, Devin Ray 33rd, Carl Matson 34th, and Stephen Miles in 35th. Jeff Merck 36th, David Sheets 37th, Brian Hennings back in 38th. Cody Nagels tonight finishes 39th with John Ellis in 40th, Landon Velicki in 41st. Chase Mastretta 42nd, Tyler Vickery 43rd, Christian Martinez 44th, Brandon Smith 45th, Joe Huerta 46th, Darrell Redford 47th, Mark Math 48th, Terry Wilson 49th, John Mullahan 50th. Evan Carlbon 51st, Sean Corbett 52nd, Larry McDonald in 53rd, and J.R. Miller in 54th. Well, we are going to go grab your top three for some post-race interviews. Also get some confirmation that the finish stands as called from Race Control. Stay with us here on PGR eSports. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Daytona International Speedway. We're going to start into your post-race show and into some post-race interviews, and we'll start first with a man that I believe a lot of people are going to want to hear from tonight, and it's going to be the driver for FGR XL in the NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series, Garrett Maines, in the one machine as he is your third-place finisher here tonight. Garrett, it's Dawson in the booth. You get a copy.
Sure.
Well, a wild ending to this one. It's kind of rare we see PGR races end with 6 cars in contention for the win. You had a decision to make on the backstretch. You go high instead of low. What went into your thought process there on the last scramble of the race?
Well, there were two things. I felt like at the moment it was a 2v2 and I was going to be a decision maker. I felt like I would be in better position to roll the top if I went to the high side. And also, I saw Ethan up there, and he's definitely been through the ringer a little bit. Some of his own doing, some of others, and I felt like he had a good chance to win tonight. He made all the right moves and got a good run there off the final corner, and I mean he did everything he needed to do to win that race. So I'm glad he finally got one done.
Well, absolutely, and a third place finish for you. Now I got to ask. I know you're probably expecting me to ask. 15 laps to go. We saw a little bit of a scuffle between you and Kyler Wynn. Is there anything to that? Was that all circumstance? Kind of take us through that scramble as well.
Turning me in front of the field is circumstance. I mean, he knows better than to push through the center of the corner. When you push somebody up, you crack the throttle. He knows better, but he also continues to do that. Whatever. People would accuse me of the same thing. It happens. Off of the corner, hanging me out after, selfish decision, but by all means, if you think I'm tore up and maybe damaged, I can understand saving your race. Then going into turn 3, everybody goes to the third lane. Sean picks the middle, and I decide that I'm going to dominate the middle lane to say, look, you've now gone to the third, I've filled the middle, I'm going to push Sean, and he bullies me down the track. If everything else hadn't just occurred, I might not be upset. I might understand the circumstance. But you've now 3 strikes in the span of a half a mile. And we get back to each other, I don't know, 5 laps later under green, and he tries to right hook me and just about wrecks himself. I'm sorry. My patience has worn thin. So I can just say there will be a time where he will wish he did not do that because the help will not be coming to him. He's definitely got some explaining to do because that's unacceptable.
Well, nonetheless, a third-place finish for you tonight, even despite all of that happening. So before we let you go, before we let you celebrate it a little bit, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, absolutely. Got to give a huge thank you to the guys at Ryko Performance. They've been putting together great cars. Once again, I mean, this week the Richmond car was insane. So big thank you to those guys. Big thank you to Scott at MCU Body, the guys at Lennox, Left Court Brothers, and FGR XL for all their support.
Well, thanks so much for talking to me. Congratulations on the third-place finish. Go enjoy it, go celebrate, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you, sir.
Garrett Maines, the third-place finisher tonight, will lead us to the man who finished in second, the member of the Jack Shack representing tonight, the 89 of Trevor Oswernoth. He was your second-place finisher here tonight. And Trev, still you got a copy.
Man, yeah, I do.
Well, I figured that's how you guys would be reacting. A crazy one. Let's just call it that. In scramble of the race, Dylan Jones, Freddie Bosniz come together. You find yourself a hole through. You're on Ethan's bumper. Anything you could have done differently there off 4 to try to get to victory lane?
Man, in the heat of the moment, no. I saw a hole that Ethan left, and I took it, and it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I knew Garrett was behind me, and man, I don't even want to talk about this. Man, I don't even. I'm so distraught. I love winning, but I hate. You hear me? I hate losing, and this is the second time this has happened. Second place at Daytona in front of a younger guy. I lost to Logan last time with Garrett behind me. I lost to Ethan. Ethan, by the way, everybody hates Ethan, but hey, he just won his first PGR race, brother. So I don't know if there's anything I could have done. It's just one of them things. It was hectic. Everybody's running out of fuel, strategy, wrecking. This is probably the most hectic race I've been in a while. And yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, a hectic one for sure. And look, going back, or the scrambles with 20 laps to go, 18 laps to go. Obviously, I just got to talk to Garrett. Obviously, the bit of a scuffle between he and Kyler Wynn, a couple different moments, and a moment between Kyler Wynn and Alex Hill, and moments across the entire field where it felt like you guys were racing with an intensity that I've never seen before. Take me through that as a driver in the cockpit of the race car, because we saw you and Alex Hill get into it a little bit.
Yeah. I didn't think we were going to make it, honestly. You know how these things go. We get into a little scuffle, and somebody does something, and it clobbers everyone, especially with no fast repair. That had a lot to do with it. We were pretty calm for the start of the race, but this last 20 laps, man, I was in fuel-saving mode. I was trying to pick through, get a couple positions here and there. Honestly, I was content on probably riding where I was and just cashing out and calling it a day. But as the stars aligned, and I guess I'm known for running out of fuel. These big dogs ran out of fuel, baby. So they can't talk to me about that no more. But yeah, that was just kind of the plan there. It was just to kind of hold it, stay about third on the outside, let them cycle, keep doing their thing up to the last lap, and just hope for the best. And yeah, they got tangled right in front of me, and I put it on everything. I was gonna die in that wreck. I seen it, and I cut low, and I was just hoping I didn't turn somebody, and I didn't, and it just seas parted, baby. And Ethan was right there, and that's all I could do. I was either gonna get hung left or push Ethan, and I gave him a hell of a push. And man, people are gonna hate that he won a PGR race. So yeah, that's just kind of what happened, brother.
Oh, absolutely, it was. I know you hate a second place finish, but unfortunately, it's what you got here tonight. So before I let you go and celebrate it a little bit, as much as you're going to anyway, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, man. Hey, first off, I want to say before this race, I told you I was gonna not finish and lose. I think second's all right. I'll take it. I'll put my foot in my mouth. But I got to thank the boys at the shack, baby, because the jack is always shacking. Or it's the other way around. The shack is always jacking. But you know what I mean. Got to thank the Jack Shack. Got to thank Devin, Joe, Chris. We were all out here tonight representing. I was the only one to make it through this melee of a race, but it was, I got to say, for me personally, it was fun. It was hectic. It was crazy. There was everything you could think of. I could imagine what the broadcast looks like, and I can't wait to watch that. Got to thank Michael, PGR, all of PGR, you guys. Bravo, you tonight, just you broadcasting. Appreciate it, brother. You know you always do an amazing job, and gotta thank everybody that came out here tonight. If anybody's watching and they want to join, man, just hit up PGR on literally any social media site you could find. PGR eSports. And man, what a race, brother. I hate that I finished second. I just want to reiterate that I hate that I finished second, but I'll take it, and we'll move on to next week and try it again, baby.
Unfortunate on one hand, fortunate on another. Well, congratulations on the second place finish. Thanks for talking to me for a second. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate it, even just a little bit, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, man. You all be safe.
Trevor Osborne, the second place finisher tonight, and well, I think he set this up perfectly. I got nothing else to say except that Ethan Eckert is a PGR Esports winner one way or the other. It's the 41 on the timing and scoring. It's the 12 on the car. And he's in PGR Esports victory lane. Ethan Eckert. It's Dawson, the broadcast booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Well, Trev was just talking about this, that There's been some things thrown your way the last couple weeks. Garrett was talking about it as well. You kind of went through the ringer the last couple weeks, and now victory lane. I gotta imagine this one feels pretty sweet for you.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm insanely overjoyed to win this thing. I mean, it was great.
Well, a great race. Obviously, kind of made the right moves. I asked the other two guys about this with about 15 laps to go. And this race got insane. It got completely hectic. We saw scuffles at the front of the field. We saw, guys kind of getting a little bit heated, almost like it was a short track race. How did you manage that? How did you put yourself in position to win tonight's event?
Basically what I was doing those whole last 15 laps was sitting in the back with Merc, just fuel saving as much as I could, just making sure I can make it all the way, because I know it was going to be really tight. I only had like half a lap to a quarter of the lap left after I crossed the line. And then at the end there, I had one of my friends, he got hung out on the top, and I knew he'd go with me, and I had a private channel with him on iRacing, so we just took the run to the top. He pushed me all the way up there, Freddie Bassinez. He pushed great, and then Merc went with him, with both of us, and helped me get to the front. And then I just kind of had the block from there.
Well, it works out for you, and for the first time, you're in PGR eSports victory lane. So now, your moment in the sun, you're in victory lane. Is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Definitely a shout out to Freddie Bassinez for pushing me up there. He did great getting me back up there, and Merc for helping me out too. All the Team PGR, they're always great to work with and fun to work with. Yeah, that's about it.
Well, congratulations. A huge achievement tonight. First PGR win. Go celebrate it. Take some time. Go enjoy this one. We will talk to you very soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
Ethan Eckert, your winner tonight from Daytona in, quite frankly, one of the most insane races that I have ever watched. I think that really all three of those guys, but Garrett and Trevor in particular, put it the best, that it's not often we have races like tonight. I've been doing this a very long time. I've been back on this level, on this platform anyway, for just over a year. But really, I've been doing it for just over about 3.5 at this point. And it's not often that I have a race where I even lose my composure when something happens. And tonight it did. I'd like to say I apologize, but I imagine I will just get you don't have to apologize. It's the emotion. It's the heat of the moment. And that is the case. A lot of stuff tonight that you're speechless. You don't know what to say. All you can do is chuckle a little bit at just what you just witnessed. And this race had everything. It had fuel strategy. It had pit stops. It had fuel mileage at the end. It had a couple of really intense wrecks. The big one struck tonight. Then obviously, late race antics. Then we had the scuffles at the end, some tempers flaring tonight as well. This race had everything you could have possibly wanted, and then a classic finish on top of it, as Ethan Eckert is a PGR winner for the first time in his career. From here, we will be back, I believe, Monday for the Little Guys Series. PGR eSports will be headed there next. As that series, go check out the Little Guys Series. They've had a couple of really great finishes in a row over there. So go check out that series on Monday night. It should be Michael Triscaro back on the call for you. Tuesday night, myself, Austin Green, will be back with you for round 2 of Tuesday Night Thunder. If you like what you saw tonight, if you like what you saw on Tuesday in particular, come join us for that. That series is incredible, and we'd love to have you out for that series here in the future. As Season 5 gets rolling, Week 1 won by Matthew Baker. Week 2, who's going to get to victory lane. And then next week, for the Intimidator Superspeedway Series, we are back. I do not believe we have any information. We do not have any information on next week's race. We'll get that to you by Tuesday at the latest, by the end of the Tuesday Night Thunder broadcast. We will be back for the Intimidator Superspeedway Series a week from tonight, next Thursday. We hope to have you back then as well. An incredible race. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for coming out, interacting, and utilizing the chat and helping us grow this incredible platform. I'm grateful to be here, grateful to have been here again tonight, and grateful you came along for the ride with me, and what a ride it was. Ethan Eckert wins tonight at Daytona. That's going to do it for PGR Esports here at the Daytona International Speedway. My name is Dawson Wise, and until next time, good night.